Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So we have a couple of meetings in the lineup tonight. The first one being a special joint Board of Finance and City Council meeting. For the record, today is Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. And we have a quorum of both boards attending. This is, by the way, a Zoom only meeting. So representing the City Council, I have Councilman Waldron, Councilman Cavanero, Councilwoman Spino, and Councilman Iveyne. Representing the Board of Finance, I have Board of Finance members Jim Wright, Wendy Traub, Deb Iannacido, and Chris Bayes. With all of that said, I think we can jump right into the primary purpose of this joint meeting, and that is to receive the tax collector's annual report. I saw Lorene on the call. Did I miss you? Did I lose you? Lorna. I said Lorene. Lorna, you're on.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So did everyone get the copy? I had made pretty colored copies, but obviously we're not in person. So did everyone receive it? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So, just a couple highlights on page 2 of the report. I don't know if I had mentioned in the past, we have been doing a probably 5 or 6 year study of all of the vacant land here in Torrington. There's a lot of little paper lots or just lots that have been, my opinion, left off of sales in the past, lost out there. And so I hired our collection agency, to do a comprehensive study, and they did. From that, the Planning and Zoning Commission has looked at them, which ones possibly, that the my department doing some work, planning and zoning, the mayor, the assessor's office, we are going to be having a massive tax sale of all of the vacant land in the spring of 2025. So I will report what happened after that next year in November without the Zoom bomb, please. So that's been happening in my office. We are going to go over page 3, but the end result is the overall collections were actually a little bit higher last year because we did pretty amazing on our tax sale. So we achieved, 102.5-ish collection rate of, and I will go over that in detail in just a minute. Our online system has just blown up, out of the 110 or so million dollars that we have to collect over the year, we collected just over 14 million online. And so that's been great. Cuts down foot traffic and processing. When I first started here, we had discussed how refunds or all of the overpayments would be handled. And initially, TTC was actually holding on to the refundable money, sending out the refunds to the taxpayers. But after that first year or so, we decided to hand all of the money over to the city. And then once that 3-year applicable time period expires, the taxpayer within the law basically forfeits any kind of a refund. So I hope that you got the corrected one. The net result is over the last 9 years or so, the city has kept just over $200,000 of that. And so that is there. I'm not sure. I think that all of you knew that we've had some office staffing issues. We had a couple people retire. I then replaced them. And then obviously I had a tragedy in the office, So we just filled a position just last week, and so we're back whole again, and so we hope, that we didn't miss a beat, but we have certainly tried. And then TTC just at the beginning of October, or I'm sorry, at the end of October, are in the transition of changing banks. We had started here back in 2015 with People's Bank. Then it was bought out by the M&T Bank, and it hasn't been so great. So I convinced them to research on the area, and so we decided to stay local, which I'm happy about. So that has happened. The TTC and I, of course, are trying to strengthen our relationship. One thing that I did forget to put on here, the assessor's office and my office has decided to meet monthly, just to talk about any issues, that we might be having, or how we can make certain processes a little smoother, to help out the taxpayer is the ultimate goal. So on the last page is the summary of the financials. Again, I know that the city gets made whole, but with the, here are the numbers of what happened, in the last fiscal year. We had to collect initially 107 plus million. And then the adjusted is the box just underneath that section. It starts out at the 107 plus all of the lawful corrections. And so the net is the 107.3 million. We collected out of the current year. And so that was only the 2022 grand list only. We collected, as of June 30th, 97.67%. And then underneath the box, you can see that out of the, what was actually budgeted as to what we collected, including any of the interest and fees, because that's how a, quote unquote, normal municipality looks at it. We were at 99.5%. Prior year collections is what had a boost because of the tax sales. My collection agency boosted up, making phone calls, and stuff like that. We even in the office started to make phone calls back in April and May, so that got people, just a little bit awake, and they started to pay a little more. So the net result was that the overall collection as to what was, technically budgeted was 102.5%. So does anybody have questions for me?
I have a question.
Yes.
Just going back, congratulations, thank you on this information. Just going back, do you have years back from 21, 22 that there's still outstanding taxes, or do you have most of the years in arrears collected at this point?
Well, it's a sliding scale. Well, I guess that this is good that I'm here in my office. So the current year or the current collection rates are that so I'm only in charge, obviously, of the 2014, but of course, there are still outstanding 2008 through 2013. Out of the 2014, we've collected, and this was as of the end of October, 99.83%, the 2015, 99.84%, 16 is 99.81, 17, 99.8. So they're mostly around 99.8 until we get to about the 2020 grand list, and then it's 99.6, the 21, 99.21, and the same with the 2022. And so, of course, there's, because again, we have accounts that, deceased accounts, taxpayers are deceased and there's no assets anymore to go after, or, if a business closed and we attempted to get paid, but we didn't. The vacant land right now is huge in the balances, so that will hopefully help it in the spring. But of course, we still have outstanding. Yes,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Other questions for Lana? Right, and I think that the only thing in closing that I would add is, Lana representing TTC and really managing that collection office has been instrumental in so many other ways to the city. She represents the tax collector on the Blight Committee meetings that we meet twice a month. She's able to help us strategize what are those blighted properties that may also be tax delinquent, and strategically, if it's smarter to go with a tax sale versus pursuing a foreclosure. So much of the information that comes out of this tax office impacts the assessor's office, the financial offices, my office, our blight committees. And it really is, we're quite lucky to have somebody that is so professional stepping in to do this job for us.
Thank you.
So if there are no questions, I'm going to let you out of the hot seat. You can go home
Have a
and,
good night.
yeah.
Hopefully you don't have any more surprises for the
I
night.
was just gonna say, you gotta go home and, wipe your memory banks of this one.
Trying. Good
All
night.
right, thank
Bye.
you.
Right, thanks.
All right, so item number 2, and I would need a motion for this. I would like to ask for a motion to go into executive session pursuant to CGS section 1-200 subsection 6, subsection B, to discuss potential litigation. In that motion, I would be looking to invite Corporation Counsel Magistrali, our Comptroller Olivia DeRosa, and Erica Johnson, our Manager of Budgets. Heather, are you still on? Yeah,
Yeah.
there you are.
Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop recording. I'm going to send you all into breakout rooms. Well, into one breakout room, and then someone just text me when you want to come back.
Okay, now for the screen shares, because I know that Erica will have some
Yep.
information she wants to do a screen share. So for that, Erica, are you comfortable, or would we bring Heather in for the screen share?
I think we'll be okay.
Okay, all right. Well then,
Okay. I made the 3 of you co-hosts, so hopefully, hopefully you'll get it.
someone
If
can.
not, just let me know.
Okay, good. All right. So do I have a motion?
Point of order.
Yes.
Just have a question, ma'am. Just to clarify, I'm sure I know, I'm 99% sure. The prior report was actually a public meeting, correct?
The prior, yes, the tax
Yes, well, we
collector
just-
report. Yes,
Yes, okay. And now we are moving into an executive session
that is correct.
with all the limitations involved. Okay,
Yes.
just want to make sure of that. Thank you.
And who are we texting?
So if we need assistance with a screen share, we're going to text Heather to bring her in to help us with the screen share. Other than that, it's just the board members, Corporation Counsel, Comptroller, and the Director of Budgets. Do I have a motion?
So move.
Second.
Thank you. I heard Mr. Wright. I heard a second by Mrs. Traub. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. You can send us to the breakout room.
Great.